and welcome. My name is B Zelda, host of Tabletop Otaku over here on Origins Game Fair, and I've got somebody absolutely fabulous with me. It's coming from Japanime Games, Eric Price. How are you this evening?
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So first off, Japanime Games, absolutely fantastic. You are okay. I don't know if like household name is something that you could say, but like as close to household names as you can get with anime games, that's where I would kind of place you. And that's incredible. How the heck did you even get there?
So I owned a comic book store back in the early 90s in Seattle when Magic came out. And I knew several
Oof.
people at Wizards when the company started. And so comics were kind of going down at the time. And Magic came out, and people were super excited about it all over Seattle and soon all over
Aw.
the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed directions and I got into gaming. And a few years later, Magic came out in Japan and was a huge hit there very quickly.
Huh.
So I started traveling Japan all the time and going to all the Grand Prix events and, of course, the Pro Tour events when they came to Japan.
Yep.
And so I was going to Japan about two times a year at first, and then it got to about 5 or 6 times a year. I
Oh
mean, I
my
was going back and
goodness.
forth to Japan all the time. So I met all these people that were involved in games in Japan, and I ended up bringing Pokemon cards back from Japan and
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh
you must have
cards.
been the coolest person.
That was totally cool.
Oh.
And then some of these companies started up their own stores and started doing their own games, like this one, Tanto Cuore. So this
Ah.
is our flagship game for Japanime Games, which we printed 10 years ago. And this is actually the 10th anniversary edition of the game, which is an all foil edition.
Oh, that's
Uh,
wonderful. I'm such a sucker for foil.
this is my own special edition, which is number 666. I had to have that for myself. But
Beautifully evil.
yes,
Beautifully done.
so we published that game about 10 years ago, just over. And that was the start. I ended up selling off my game store in Seattle, just focused
Ah,
on publishing games. And we have now published, I don't even know how many, like 30 different games.
oh
We
my
brought so
goodness.
many games from Japan over to the US. We're also making new games using anime licenses. And I got a game about sushi where we're doing a game we just produced called Ramen Ramen. Uh,
Ah, that
so,
sounds so cute. Do you have any favorites? Like, holy heck, that's a lot of IPs. That's a lot of games. Like, do
mm,
you have any favorites out of those 30?
well, Tanto Cuore, of course, has a special place in my heart, being our first game. I would say we've got a lot of deck building games because they're very popular in Japan.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Tanto Cuore, Heart of Crown is a very popular one, a game about princesses, and which is also on Steam. And Kamigami Battles is a game of our own design that
Okay.
we're working with many Japanese artists. So all the art is done by Japanese
Oh,
artists.
that's incredible. And what is this one called? Sorry, Kami Kami Battle?
Kamigami Battles,
Kamigami Battle. So, like, God, like, oh.
battling gods. So
Yeah, yeah, okay.
every expansion for Kamigami Battles brings different mythologies together
Oh my
into
gosh.
a big arena where they're all fighting. And so we've got Greek, Roman, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, all these different
Wow.
mythologies coming together, and every player plays as a god to battle each other.
Oh, that's incredible. You have, so there's a lot of deck builders with Japanime Games. Something that I think is really cool, and okay, I know this is probably not for adults, but banana, how do you, the cat and a banana.
Bananya.
Banana!
Bananya.
I just, yes!
This is Bananya.
I
Uh,
want that tattooed on my body. I've never been happier to see a cat inside of a banana. Like, the show is
I know
cute.
you never knew you needed this, right? Um,
No!
so it's very adorable. There's a lot of merchandise for it with plush toys and things,
Yeah,
and
oh yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And there's all these 3-minute videos of Bananya, and there's tons of different Bananya characters. This is the main Bananya right here,
Mm-hmm.
but there's zombie Bananyas,
Oh
and there's
no, cute.
baby Bananyas, all these different types of Bananyas. And so anyway, my friend Chelsea came up with this game idea. It was at Anime Expo a couple years ago, and then we pitched it to the licensor, and they loved the
Mhm.
idea.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
This is coming to Kickstarter in a couple of months. So
Ooh, I feel like I need, okay, so like this is just me being selfish, but like, do I need to sign up to your newsletter to get notified when this Kickstarter goes
I
live?
think that'd be a good idea. Yeah. So yeah, obviously we do have a newsletter up on our website at japanimegames.com. You can sign up for things and following us on social and all of that. But our next campaign coming up next month is Sushi Boat.
Ooh,
So I
sounds
have
cute. Do tell.
a example of the box right here.
Oh my goodness.
Hiko on the cover. She's our Japanime mascot,
Ah,
and she is serving you sushi. And in
I
the
love
game,
this.
there are stacks of sushi plates you're going to get in different colors.
Oh
So
no.
every plate is a
Tactile.
different type of sushi. Yes, it's very tactile and a lot of great sushi art. But the coolest thing is the board. The board is very unique. It's made out of wood.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the board for Sushi Boat, and
Oh,
all of
boat
the
shape.
plates slide in it like this, like a conveyor belt.
That's so satisfying.
And they
Oh,
slide
they go all the
down,
way through.
they go all the way through like a little channel.
Oh my goodness, you have no idea how much that appeals to just like my inner soul. That it's tactile, it's
Yeah,
mobile. My last question, okay, have you tried to sample one of the sushi plates and how did they taste?
I have not. I have not.
Okay, well, when that happens, let us know because I'm very
We could do,
curious.
some scratch and sniff. I don't know.
Ah,
But this was a lot of work and development because it's a very unique thing. I mean, obviously, it's not just an average cardboard board, and getting the plates just right and all of
mhm.
that. So this is coming to Kickstarter next month. We're gonna have a copy of the game at Gen Con and at Origins to show off, and
Yes.
that'll be a big focus of our booths at both of those events. And then
So
the
what you're
big thing,
saying is I'll see you at Origins Game Fair and we're gonna play some Sushi Boat
I
together.
think so. I think so. Uh, a big thing we're doing at Origins this year is since it's October, Origins in October for the first time ever, we're doing a big Oktoberfest promotion. Now, Tanto Cuore is a game all about maids.
Mm-hmm.
And the first three games came out in Japan about various sets. The first set is about just having a large mansion. Then there was expanding the house about getting a larger mansion. And then there was Romantic Vacation, where you take your maids on vacation with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth set was actually my idea, which I pitched to the original designer, which was an Oktoberfest edition about beer maids.
What?
And
Genuinely?
so this game is all about German beer maids.
Oh my gosh.
And so I go to Essen every year, and I've got a bunch of friends that were dressing up in maid outfits promoting the game there. And then we did a little twist on it. We got kegs of beer. We
Oh
promoted
my
it, free beer with
gosh.
purchase. Um, so this year at Origins, we're going to have special Oktoberfest pint glasses and a bunch of promo cards and things we'll be doing as part of the event.
This is incredible. Oh my gosh. Also, that crossover idea, in my 30 years of life, I've never considered how badly that I needed a Oktoberfest made kind of like that's the crossover that I desperately wanted. Just the visual, the cups that you're gonna have, the kegs, that's wonderful. How how did you come up with that? Like what was your inspiration? Was it just the love of the two worlds and bringing them together?
So yes, I
No,
live here.
seriously.
I live in Portland, Oregon. We have a very heavy beer culture here, and I love Germany. So I've been going to Essen for 20 years, and
Mhm.
I have all these friends. Some of them that actually worked in bars that did, serve beer. And one of my very good friends, her name's Nadia, would go. She came to the U.S. and would go to shows with me. So she's been to Gen Con, she's been to Origins, she's been to San Diego Comic Con, and
Yep.
we got like we'd go do the show, and at the night we'd go out dancing or whatever, and we jokingly she'd be dressed in a maid outfit when we're out dancing, and
Mhm.
we jokingly called her my beer maid because she always made sure I had a beer in my hand.
Oh my
So that was
gosh.
this fun thing, and then we translated that into the next edition of Tanto Cuore. So there was that.
That's
um,
incredible.
the next edition after that was Winter Romance, which brought butlers into the game. So now it's butlers and
Beautiful.
maids.
Mhm.
And we are currently working on the future edition of Tanto Corey, which is number 6. There's 6 different sets that is going to have dead maids. They will be
A
both.
little something for everybody.
Yes, yes. So it's going to be half and half live and dead maids and butlers.
Oh
So
my gosh.
and so it's a haunted mansion kind of idea.
I love it. Again,
Um,
that gives me like, and I know it won't be in time for October, but like that's another spooky, wonderful kind of like festive vibe
yeah,
that you can like really, really work with. And I love that.
it's going to be very fun. Our fans are very excited about it, and we're going to be doing more and more with that. But so we just had our 10th anniversary for Tanto Cuore, and
Yes.
with that anniversary, we have released the 10th anniversary game, the foil game that I just showed you,
Mm-hmm.
and we've also released a Steam edition of the game,
So
which
this
is
is new, this Steam edition?
brand new. Yes, so it's
Ah,
been released just in the last couple of months, um, and we're working on the second set right now, which will be play tested soon with our fan base, and that'll be coming out very soon also.
oh my goodness. That's incredible. Like just the the track that you're on Japanime Games is incredible. Like the IPs that you've acquired, the Steam games that are coming out, like this is
Yeah.
marvelous. And before we
Last
get
year was very busy for us.
oh yeah, like how was everybody during the pandemic? Was that a time that you found everybody was able to thrive? Was it a coping?
So for us, it went very well
Mm,
because everybody works remotely at my company. We're in different parts of the world. I've got 2 employees in Tokyo. I've got employees
nice.
on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. And so we didn't change that much, except we stopped going to so many conventions.
Yeah.
I normally, in 2019, I personally went to 25 conventions.
Oh my goodness. When
And
were you home? How many
not
weekends are there in in a year? Not that many. Oh,
So me being home in 2020 gave me the ability to just get all of these projects moving forward that I had started on. So I had a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I finally moved all these things forward, and it's been very good for us. So we're starting to do conventions again in the very near future, and in fact, we just did one, Otakon in
oh,
DC.
how was
Went
that?
very
That's
well.
so exciting.
Yeah, it was great finally being in an event
Oh,
again. I everybody on our team was vaccinated. We all had masks and all of that.
good.
They did very wide aisles throughout the convention, so it did not feel crowded.
Oh,
Um,
that's so good.
yeah, it was great. They had a good attendance, so I'm really hoping to keep that going with future events as well.
Oh, that's marvelous. Like, I'm so excited for Origins Game Fair this year. There was a handful of conventions that I really was hoping I was going to get to this year, but borders aren't opening the way that I need them to from Canada to the
Mm,
States, so I'm going to keep things small. But, Origins Game Fair is going to be the one that I'm going to check out. And there's so many people I want to see. There's so many games that I want to play. What other games will you be demoing at the convention this year?
well, we'll be showing off Bananya. We've got Sushi Boat. We've got Tree Lined Avenue is going to be a new game coming out with this very pretty
Oh, that's
art.
gorgeous.
We actually have two games about trees. The other one is Luigi. Both of these games will be coming out in November.
Okay.
They're both totally printed and about ready to ship here. But as you may have heard, there's a lot of shipping delays and issues with that. But I
Mm-hmm.
am going to bring some copies available to have to show off at Gen Con and Origins.
Ooh.
So we've got Momiji and Tree Lined Avenue as two games about trees, about Japanese trees, I guess. Um, so those are pretty. And then we'll be pushing Sushi Boat. We also are going to have a copy of Tokyo Sidekick, which is a big game about superheroes in Japan.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
gigantic co-op game. Um, and that'll be coming out pretty soon as well. That's under production right now.
Oh, that is incredible. So by co-op, you mean like is this a board game? So the two of us are kind of working towards a mutual goal?
Yes.
Oh, I
So every
love that.
player chooses a hero and a sidekick. And so there's 10 of each. And so every game is going to be different because you have the abilities
Ah,
that match between the two. So you're working together to defeat the villains that keep popping up on the board in Tokyo. They're all trying to destroy Tokyo, and you're trying to save it. So it's an interesting Japanese spin on Western superheroes,
yes.
and it's a very cool game, and it's gigantic. I wish I had a copy of it right here. It's somewhere in my house, but I mean it's huge. It's huge. it would cover up the whole screen here.
Oh, that's
Um,
wonderful.
but it's the biggest game that's ever come out of Japan as far as I know.
Yeah, that's impressive because damn, that makes me want to play it even more. So, are you going to have a copy at one of these
Yeah.
two conventions? Will I be able to spot you with that?
Yeah. We'll have those at the booth. We'll be promoting a lot of our upcoming stuff. And if anybody wants to see everything that's coming out, we have created a page called our roadmap on our website at
Oh, I love that.
japanimegames.com that shows everything that we are releasing in the next 6, 7, 8 months. We've got a lot of things that are coming to crowdfunding over the next few months.
Hmm.
We've got a lot of things releasing in the next few months, and then a whole lot more coming in the beginning of next year. So we just released a Naruto game. We released
Ooh, tell
Cowboy
me about that
Bebop.
really quickly. As a a child who grew up in the golden times of anime, Naruto unfortunately was one of my top.
So Naruto is a very fast action dice battle game. Everybody's rolling dice
Dice?
continuously.
Okay, sold. Tell me
And
more.
so every player has a different character that they can play, which has different types of attacks that they're doing. And so you're trying to knock out all the other players, but it's all real time action. So it's not turn based.
I like
So
that.
it makes for some pretty fun noises.
Oh,
Um,
yes. Multiple dice rolling, throwing dice at each other if you're really frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. We can't really recommend that, but maybe we'll have a foam dice expansion.
Make them like in the shape of shuriken or little kunai, please. I know
Sure.
they're not really dice at that point, but you know, a human can dream.
Yeah, whatever. And then our Cowboy Bebop game came out last year,
Oh my gosh.
and that has been a huge hit. Cowboy Bebop, of course, is very, very popular, long-standing anime, and it's
Oh
kind of
yes.
the first anime that really got me into things, you know?
Really? Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah,
Was it like the genre, how it was kind of like a
yeah,
mystery, but like that
yeah.
noir intrigue, or was it like the sci-fi in space?
Both, and
Yeah.
Edward. It was all about Edward, really. I love Edward. Um,
Ed.
and Ein and just all the characters are so interesting. And
Hmm.
it was at the time that I started traveling to Japan. Late 90s, early 2000 was when I first started traveling to Japan all the time. So the two big things on Adult Swim were Cowboy Bebop and Evangelion right at
Oh
that time.
yeah.
So
Oh
I
yeah,
got
at that
very into
time.
both of those. Yeah. So that was
Oh,
a
that's
really exciting
incredible.
thing for me to release a game based off of one of my, original interests in anime.
So we'd kind of touched on this early on in the beginning, but like, so you kind of mentioned like what your passions are, what you did to get into it, but like, how did you break into this? How did you manage to make an entire company? And I know we didn't want to say it in so many words, but look at you.
So, I mean, incrementally, step by step, I had a
Yeah.
game store in Seattle. I started bringing in some games from Japan and publishing them. And then I got,
Jeez.
things grew to the point where I wanted to get away from retail and just focus on the publishing and going to all the conventions and all of that. Um, and it's been over the last few years that we've also been working on the anime licensing.
Ah.
So a few other licenses we're working on are Black Clover.
Ooh, that's a big one right now.
Yeah. Sword Art Online.
Oh yeah, that's been big for a while.
Right.
How is the fan base like? Do they receive the games very well?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
a big question I always get from people is, are you just slopping or slapping that onto Monopoly? Are you just because that's what people
Uh-huh.
but we always are trying to make things unique and different and interesting and have the mechanics tie in with the thematics of the license and the anime to
Good.
make it actually feel like it flows together, that there's a reason for this game to exist. So that's something that I take a lot of pride in. I want it to feel like something that the fan of the anime is really going to enjoy.
Okay, that one's especially important to me. I don't know. Like, I remember when Sword Art Online first came out, and everybody was so excited because that was kind of the quintessential, like, OG isekai, it's going to be a game within a video game. And then it was just kind of something else. And so the fact that you can now make games out of that as a premise, the bar The bar is set pretty medium, but to really wow people, you kind of got to go above and beyond. And it sounds like not only do you have the ability, but you have the skills and the talent to kind of put it all together and craft this amazing game. So I look forward to seeing and like maybe
Yeah.
playing a little bit of that in the future as
Well,
well.
we did release a Sword Art Online dice and card game several years ago, but this new one we're coming out with is actually based off of Sword Art Online Alicization, which is a new spin on Sword Art as
Was
well.
that season 3?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Um,
Personally, that was my least favorite season, but that's
okay.
fine,
I hope you like the game anyway. So we've also been working with a company called Games out of Japan
Okay.
that makes Ground Blue Fantasy and an actual digital online card game called Shadowverse. And we're doing several projects with them. So we're just starting to announce some of that. And this is going to be a system called Japanime Tactics,
Oh my
which is
gosh.
a
Okay.
tactics turn-based strategy game that will be tying different IPs into it.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Like, what is the platform for all of this going to be? Is it going to be like a physical game or an online game?
It's physical.
It will be,
And
okay.
so there'll be a starter box that comes with 4 characters.
Hmm.
Every character has a character pack that has an acrylic standee and cards that go with it. So it's kind of like a cartridge because you get a pack with everything for that character in it.
Yep.
And then there'll be expansion packs, and you can add on more and more characters, and there'll be different IPs that'll add on things from different directions. So we've got Ground Blue Fantasy, Sword Art, we've got Black Clover, and a few other things that I can't really talk about yet, but different IPs that are all going to tie together for this game system.
Oh my gosh, that's thrilling. I cannot wait for that. That sounds like it's just going to be marvelous. And again, it's that combination, You can pull from a couple of different audiences that way, like everybody likes anime, they like the thematic, but there's always those specific details that really bring people in and make them want to stay for the
Right.
content. And it sounds like you found a really good way to harness that.
Yeah. So are you familiar with the acrylic standees that are popular in Japan? I mean, I've
Loosely, I mean, do
got a
you
few,
have
right?
some in? Yes, I want to see.
So, like, oh, I didn't mention Love Live Sunshine as well.
No.
So we're working on a Love Live Sunshine game. So these are acrylic standees
Oh,
that
it's fantastic.
are using, the actual art from the
Yeah.
anime that the studios love us working with because we're using the very actual art rather than doing a 3D mold.
Oh my
And the fans of
goodness.
anime love these too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using these as the play pieces in several of our games.
That's so
Uh,
smart.
so we've got a lot of cool stuff coming out with those.
And I would just probably do what you're doing and have a shelf lighted really, really well and set up all my beautiful little acrylic standees there because that's so cool.
Got a lot of toys in there.
Of course. Look at what you do for a living. So like before we get too much onto our Steam game, I have to know what do you find joy about this whole process? Like what keeps you motivated to want to keep doing all of this?
It's what I've been doing for years. It's what I keep doing, and I enjoy it. I enjoy our fans. Our fans love all the projects we're working on that we're bringing out, and it's something that I've been talking about with all of my employees, my staff recently. Is that our fans love the fact that we bring things from Japan to them. And in fact, that's a new tagline that I'm kind of pushing, which is "We bring Japan to you."
Yes.
And our fans love that. They love the fact that we've been doing this for years. And I think a really important factor is I travel and my company travels to so many anime conventions. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
most game companies go, of course, to Origins, Gen Con, and maybe the PAX events,
Yeah.
and several other smaller gaming conventions. But we go to all these large anime conventions, and so we see our fans all the time at these cons, and they just love us bringing them new things to do at all the conventions as well because it's our specialty, it's our focus. It's worked really well.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, like it really seems like not only do you deliver good content, but you do it respectfully and properly. Like your engagement is really good. You don't just deliver content. It's just like, well, we wanted the IP, so we're gonna slap Monopoly on top of it and call it a day. Like
Yeah.
there's actual care, there's actual love. The fact that you go out of your way to attend even like all the anime conventions, because it's niche, Like you're looking for that board game anime crossover, and anime can sometimes be a little bit pushed back into the recesses of the gaming world, but nonetheless, like you maintain that presence, and I think that's admirable. Like you're really good at keeping your head far above water so people can notice you. Like I've had a handful of folks message me about how excited they are that I'm going to be talking to somebody from Japanime Games, and like, thank you. Like I'm excited that you're excited for me, and I love that, you know?
Yeah, our fans are very excited. I mean, of course, there's a lot of great game companies out there, and people love the projects they work on. But this focus that we've had just on anime properties has been excellent. I really enjoy it. I go to Japan normally twice a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I have many different game designers I work with out of Japan, and we're localizing, bringing their games over here. Another thing to mention is we're actually doing a lot more with other languages now too. We've got our
Oh,
games in French, German, Spanish,
I
uh,
love that.
Chinese, Korean. I'm bringing games from Japan to the US in English edition and then bringing them back out all over the world again too. So
Oh,
uh,
that's
that's a
incredible.
pretty exciting thing.
Oh my goodness, yes. The accessibility, you have no idea. Like, this is just like a silly personal story, but like when I first started playing D&D, I was so mad that I could find it afterwards, but I wanted the DMG available in French, and it wasn't something that was easily accessible. I
Mhm.
love the idea that all of my games, everything that I enjoy, can be available in the languages that I can enjoy them in. So that's incredible that you're able to do that too. That's a lot of work though. And again, that
Yes.
goes to show what you're willing to do as a company for your audience. Like that's wonderful.
Yeah, we've got some really good partners in different countries that we're working with, and we're going to be doing more events in France. In fact, I recently hired my daughter, who's been living in Paris for the last couple of years,
Ah,
and she's helping me grow the market in France as well. So
that's
when
so
we start doing
cool.
events over there, she'll be leading those, and she'll be going to Essen with me this year as well.
That's so cute. Also, congrats to her. Like, way to
Yeah.
go. That's wonderful. Also, being able to use your second language and like make a career out of it, that's
Mhm.
wonderful. You know, I speak French because I live in Canada.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah. She loves French. She loves Japanese. So I guess you could say it kind of trickled down
Yeah,
from
I
me.
can't
Uh,
imagine where she got that from, you know?
Years ago, I actually hired somebody from Japan that I brought to the States. That initially he lived in my house
Aw,
for about 3 months until he got set up himself. And so my daughter always had that Japanese influence around.
that's so cool though. It's just small things like that that apparently have really gone a long way. Like, look at what she's able to do now. That's marvelous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great being able to work with her, and obviously we talk all the time now too.
yeah.
That's cool. Unfortunately, so she got married last year in Paris, and of course I wasn't able to be there because of
Mm-mm.
COVID. But I did meet her husband before they got married, and I signed off on it, and it's all good.
Ah.
But she's actually so he's French, and he's doing
Okay.
a lot of translation work for us to bring it into French as well. So
Oh,
that's been
that's
very cool.
wonderful. Oh, it's like a little family business
It is.
now.
It is.
That's really sweet. I feel like that's probably not what you expected, but just being able to do that and like maintain that relationship, that's incredible.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been great.
Ah.
I'm gonna pull up the demo, guys.
That's so sweet. All right, so we're about at that mid show, and I just want to let everybody know that Tabletop Otaku is still powered by Origins Game Fair. We want you to join us and thousands of amazing gamers this convention, September 30th to October 3rd in Columbus, Ohio, online and in person. We do not have late submissions open, but if you still want to come on by, we'd be fantastic and it'd be marvelous to see you. If you need any more information, check out originsgamefair.com. Now, Eric, I think you and I are going to play. Okay, my mouth is not going to say it right. Tanto Cuore?
It's pretty close. It's pretty good. It's not Tanto Cuore.
Tanto Cuore. Cuore, like a W
Yeah,
in my
it's
face.
Cuore.
Cuore.
Cuore. It's something I've always said. It's a Japanese game about French maids with an Italian name because it's yeah. But that we translated into English.
Uh huh.
And so this is a game about maids, and it's very interesting. A lot of people are like, why maids? but it's a huge popular thing in Japanese culture.
Why not maids? Hit me up at the maid cafe. I will go there any day.
That was a very exciting thing for me actually in Tokyo years ago, going into a maid cafe, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's the thing I make games about."
It's real, yeah. Oh, that's
Uh,
such a wonderful experience.
so yeah, we've got the game set up right here, and we're gonna give it a go.
Ooh, loading game.
So B has never played the game yet. So this will be your first time. I have played this game 10 million times.
Approximately?
Approximately.
Yeah.
Demoing it to our fans and to new people at anime conventions and all of that. But it's pretty, I think you'll pick up on it pretty quickly. So basically, you start out with love cards and collect cards.
Okay.
And I am playing the love cards here, and that is the currency of the game. It's love. So
Aw.
I have 3 love now,
Yep.
and I'm going to spend that on buying a card. So I'm going to buy a Kagari card, and that goes into my discard. And if you're all familiar with deck building games, that's a pretty standard thing. And so something that's very unique about this game that's different than a lot of deck builders is you actually can manipulate your deck a lot more by
Okay.
taking cards out of your deck and playing them, and they stay in play in your private quarters, or your private
Oh, I
chamber.
love that.
And so that allows you to add cards and manipulate your deck more, and people really appreciate that. So that was my turn, and now it's your turn.
All right, so oh, sweeping. Ah,
Yeah,
little animations. Like
Fun thing,
slay
yeah.
me. Okay, so I'm gonna play your move where I play all my love cards, and that
Mhm.
means I can make a purchase. I'm making my purchase or my employee
Your
based on how
employee.
cute they
Yeah,
are.
right.
I didn't read it at all, but she's super cute.
Yep. So that's all you're able to do on your turn. So now end your turn.
Perfect. Oh my god, the little broom.
And then the first few turns of the game are pretty simple because you're just buying some cards. Then it goes back to your turn. Now, one thing that's different here is you'll see the cards in the upper left that are in black. Those are private maids. And
Oh.
with those, they never go in your deck. They go into your private quarters or your private chambers. And those cards give you bonuses on your turn, but you don't
Okay, I
actually
love
take them out of
that.
your deck.
At the start of each other's. Ah, okay. Useful business. Useful business. I want this one. This one's Kagari. You're cute.
Yep.
The voice. Yay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's my favorite.
Right. Right.
Ah,
So we had
the
a lot of our fans
animations.
do the voice acting for this, sending in audio
Really?
clips. And we had fans doing the fan art with the maids that sweep up and everything. So it
Oh
was
my
really
word.
a fan-based project, and we had a lot of fun with that.
That's so great and collaborative, though. Oh, that warms my heart.
So I played Genevieve, which gives me love, serving, and lets me draw another card. So
Oh,
you only get 1 serving per turn, which means you can only play 1 maid card per turn, unless you play a maid that gives you extra servings, like I just did. So
okay.
in this case, it doesn't really matter because I still only have 1 serving available and no other maids I can play at the moment. But I'm going to go ahead and buy a Natsumi card, goes in my
Oh my god, the
discard.
green hair. Yes.
And that is your
Ooh, I
turn.
see. +2 serving, +1 draw. That's a good card.
Yep.
Okay, Vasil, let's do this. So, this is telling me to do a thing. I may discard.
Okay.
I don't want to
So
do
you're going to want to
that.
play the Kagari card first
Yep.
because Kagari gives you +2 servings. And then you play Purple Hair Girl. And now this has got a fun little thing you can do. You may discard some cards from your hand, and then you can gain extra servings. You already have 1 serving. You would like to get another one, and then you can chambermaid Colette. So what I would suggest you do
Mm-hmm.
is choose one of those love cards,
Okay.
discard it. So you click on the card, there you go, and then discard it. And so now you got an extra serving. Now you can chambermaid that card right there. It costs 2 servings to chambermaid a Colette. And what that means is it comes out of your deck goes off into your private quarters, and you're never drawing that card again.
Oh, cool. But I get the bonuses from it
Yeah, and
at the
so
end of the
you'll
game.
get right, you'll get victory points and all of that. So now you have 0 love, now you have 3 love, and you can buy a card.
All
So that's the
right.
employee phase. At the end of your turn, you get to buy extra cards.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this. Oh, I want the house, but it's telling me I shouldn't get the house. Oh, oh, what do I do? I'm gonna do.
So Kagari is always a good buy for 3 love because she gives you two servings, which is very helpful. And then Colettes are good for giving you extra bonus points because there's a 5 victory points bonus for having the most Colettes at the
Okay.
end of the game. But then again, I would definitely go with the Kagari to begin with.
Okay.
I'd wait a few turns before you start buying Colettes because they don't help you during the game, just at the end of the game.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you got to strategize. When is the best time? And what cards are available? What can you afford? Ah,
So
I love the variables.
I played a Kagari, then I'm going to chamber a Colette. Now I only have 2 love, so I'm going to get one of the 3 sisters here. There's the Crescent Sisters.
Oh, tell me
And
about them.
so each one of them gives you a different benefit, +1 love, +1 draw a card, +1 employ. I haven't explained employ yet. So you can
Uh-uh.
only buy 1 maid card per turn unless you have extra employ, which means you can
Oh,
employ more than 1 maid on your turn. And what that means is if, say, you have 8 love, you could buy 2 maids that cost 4 each, or a 5 and a 3 or whatever.
I love that. Okay.
So also, if you chamber all 3 of those sisters,
Yep.
then you get an extra 7 bonus points. Each one of them is worth 1 by themselves, but if you get the full set of them, you get 7 bonus points. So that's always good to get sets of those.
Heck yeah. Okay, so another area to kind of work towards if that's what my angle is.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Oh my
The
gosh, so cute.
purple event cards on the far right are illness and bad habits.
Yeah, I've
You,
been looking at those.
you play those on your opponent. So
Oh.
you would specifically play an illness card on one of my maids that's in my private quarters.
Oh my gosh.
But you can also throw bad habits at me. And the thematic idea there is that, the maids are picking up bad habits like smoking or
Yeah.
whatever.
Drinking on the job, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, speaking of like,
Oh my
all right.
gosh. All right,
So,
let's see what I can do then. Honestly, I just really want bad habits. It just makes me very happy at the yeah. All right.
okay, so you're going to put that on me, of
Yeah,
course.
I
So that gives me negative victory points.
am. Ooh.
Now, if you end up giving me many of those, then it becomes -2 victory points if you have 4 or more bad habits. So
Interesting. Okay.
the game is 2 to 4 players,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's great, just a heads up game. But of course, more players in it, you can affect more players with different abilities as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play a Genevieve and a whole lot of love. I've got 5 love,
Oh, the love.
all the love. I'm gonna get a Sainsbury, one of my favorite
Ooh.
names. She likes to do the wash, do the laundry.
Ah, so cute. Okay, so I got a good hand. I think this is yeah what I want to do, and then I got up to you may discard up to 2 cards of your hand. If you do, you gain 1 serving per discard. So
So
yeah.
you could theoretically
Hmm.
chamber both of those Colettes on this turn
Okay.
by discarding 2 love and playing Kagari. So discard
Yep.
2 of those because then you'll
Okay.
get 2 servings. Unless oh no, you only get up to 3 servings. My mistake. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. Got to chamber one of my
You can chamber
Colettes.
one. You should have saved 1 other love to buy a different Crescent Sister, but
Yeah.
sorry to have steered you wrong.
That's okay.
I did bad math.
I'm gonna employ a love. Call it a day.
Yep, yep.
I'm getting the flow.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite maid? Like, what is your avatar that you use?
Well, I really like Genevieve. She's we call her the purple soup maid.
Ah,
And let's see, what am I going to do here? I've got 2 servings. I don't really need to discard any cards, so I'm going to cancel that. like
Whoever
where?
put the accent on the Genevieve, I feel like it's in the wrong space, but it just makes it funnier for me.
Oh, okay. Um, I am going
Oh, whoa,
to.
what you got going on?
What am I going to do? I've only got 3 love. I'll just get another crescent sister, and then it's your turn.
Okay. So, do you find that there's any like what have you found the difference between playing this game in person versus online? Like the pros and cons of Steam versus, kind of like I
Well,
love a
you can
good
get a game
physical
going.
card.
You can get a game going at any time, which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
With people from around the world. We've got the game in French and Japanese and English right now. We will be adding Chinese and Korean,
Oh
and
wow.
I think we're working on German right now too. Of course, that's a lot more text to fit in there.
Of
Um,
course.
they're long words. Um, so that's very cool. I mean, one person, you don't even need to speak the same language. You can play Japanese text
I
against
love
English
that.
text, um,
Oh,
because the wonders of digital technology, it all
mm-hmm.
comes out. So that's a pretty cool thing, which you don't think about when you're just making physical games.
No, not at all. Gosh, that just makes me happy. Like the world, like obviously the past 18 months has been an absolute shit show, but nonetheless, like when you look for some of the silver linings and you can see some of the companies, some of the small companies that legit deserve the success have been doing well, that's been just really, really wonderful to see. And understanding just like how much more space that we've made in digital communities and how we can connect a little bit more, like how normalized Zoom is, how normalized our video calls are now.
Right,
I've
right.
kind of enjoyed that to a degree because it's facilitated so many more in such a variety of online gaming. Like I'm not just playing World of Warcraft with my bros. I'm
Yeah.
playing deck builders. I'm playing games where I'm maids. I'm playing games where I'm fighting on a watery island. Like there's just been such a variety of board games that I'm being introduced to that I'm just so in love with it.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, I've done a lot of things through Discord, playing different games with friends. I mean, Jackbox is a very fun thing where
Oh
everybody's,
yes, that one's a
great party.
classic.
Right, right,
And that one
uh,
has the appeal of bringing in folks who don't know anything about games. You
right,
intro them with Jackbox, then you're like,
Mhm.
so you figured out how to use your computer. You ready for some real games?
Right, right, right.
That's when you introduce them to things like this. What do I want to do? I'm really just having fun. I'm not. My strategy is pretty
So in this
questionable.
game, there's 16 general maids you can choose from, and
Okay.
but you choose 10 of them when you start the game. So I did that setup before we started the game.
Oh, cool.
We're about to release Tanto 2, the first expansion, which is also a standalone,
Okay.
and that's going to add another 16 general maids into the game. So if
Oh
people buy
wow.
that game, they can mix and match cards from both of them, change the game every time they play it.
I love that.
So I'm going to play Sainsbury, which lets me trade a one love card from my hand for a two love card from the
Ooh,
town. That's what all the
nice.
cards, that's what the layout is called, the town.
That's
So
wholesome.
yeah.
They're just
So
hanging out in town.
right. Um, so that's actually, I'm just going to buy another two love. There we go. And that's a way to manipulate your deck, which is it's not super complicated. But
Hmm.
then with the next expansion, there's going to be building cards. It's called expanding the house because you have building cards that you add into the game as well. That you
Okay.
can put cards in building cards and add that to it.
Ooh.
Um, Many people feel that Tanto 3 is the best set. It's called Romantic Vacation. It has what's called reminiscence cards.
Okay.
And those cards are like photographs of your vacation.
Oh my goodness. I
And
love
what
that.
people really enjoy about that for the gameplay is that you are able to buy those cards when you run out of love by discarding cards. So it allows you to it
Ah,
adds a whole different aspect to the game.
it's just another layer, and it's another chance to like,
Mhm.
successfully, stomp the competition. Or gently sweep them away. I guess I should do
No
something a
way.
little more
Yeah.
thematic.
Right, right. So with the new one we're coming out with Tanto 6, the working title is Twilight Manor because it's using
Ooh.
the Twilight sisters from the game right here. So um, the ghosts that are in the game, if
Hmm.
the ghosts get angry, then they turn evil. And so you can have maids that have negative effects if there's a round of all the ghosts turning evil because they're like poltergeists within the house,
Of
within the.
course. That's excellent. Just like the undead, that was an angle I was not expecting at all. But it feels so natural. It's such a popular theme. Like everybody
It's
loves
actually
undead stuff. Hit me up with zombies left and
supernatural.
right.
It's supernatural.
It
So
is.
a very cool factor about that is that a friend of mine, his name's Ross Allison, is actually a professional ghost hunter.
What?
He has his own TV show,
What? Okay.
written many books on this, and he does tours in Seattle called Spooked in Seattle.
Oh my goodness. What is life
And
sometimes? That's wonderful.
and so Ross and I worked together. I kind of gave him some ideas. We played off each other and came up with some great design ideas for everything. And we just basically created the format of what we want the game to look like.
Okay.
And then we submitted it to Kudo, who is the original game designer in Japan. And he's right now reviewing everything
Oh my goodness.
to play test, tweak some designs to where he likes it the best.
Yep.
And so that's a pretty cool thing that's going on right now.
That's an incredible possibility. Holy heck. Just put two great minds together, reach out to the source material, see if they're interested, and next thing you know, it's a success.
Yeah.
Like, and that's wonderful too. And like, as you were kind of explaining what your journey has been, it's incremental, as you said. It's just taking one step at a time, leading, seeing where that takes you, utilizing the resources and the people that you've met along the way, and then merging your passion with your ambition and your creativity and your ability to create, like, to craft this together. And here we have Japanime Games. Like, that's just so marvelous. I know I've kind of stated my awe, but nonetheless, I love that kind of journey for something like this.
I've made a lot of friends over the years traveling to all these conventions that I go to, and
Yeah.
that's been very fun. I mean, it's interesting because I live here in Portland, Oregon, but I know
Hmm.
more people scattered around the world than I know in my own town because I'm constantly traveling, or at least
Oh, that's
I
excellent.
was until last year. But
Yep. Hey, things are opening back up again as long as you're still safe. I hope we're gonna get our third booster shot for our vaccines in January, and uh, I'm just trying to see the silver light in all this because, oof, things are things are happening.
things are happening. Very true. Okay, hey, I got up to 6 love, and that means I'm going to
Ooh.
employ Faye Longfang.
Oh my God, so cute.
So Faye will give me either +1 love or +1 employment every turn. So that's a nice big bonus.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, and that actually unveiled my actual favorite maid, which is Lucian or Lucien. She gives you +1 serving every turn. So I always like to get that one.
Her last name, Marlborough.
Yeah, I didn't name her.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, I've been having over like some of their names are just super cute. And there's like Sainsbury Lockwood, and that just sounds
Yeah,
like if I were to order a steak, but
yeah,
that's what I would want to order. Give me a Sainsbury Lockwood.
right, right. Or a drink on the
Ooh,
rocks.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we've got a Russian maid, Tanya Petrushka.
That's a classic. I love it. Oh wow, look at all that. Okay. So I'm gonna buy. Is there like will it let me know if I already own somebody?
So if you go down to the deck on your bottom right, you can right click on it and it'll show you what's in your deck.
Fabulous. Thank you.
And then if you go to the tab on the very top right, or on, I mean, just on the top, you can click on each player and see what's in their private quarters.
Ooh. Oh, that's so cool. Private maids, maid chiefs, general maids, bad habits,
Yeah.
and illnesses. Okay, I love that. All right, well, I'm gonna grab our Lucienne since you were
Yeah.
talking her up.
Yep. She's gonna do wonders for you. Extra servings every turn is good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Um, Faye Longfang comes out and says, "This should help." Yes, Faye. This will help. Let's see. I have 5 love. I wish I had more servings, but I do not. I'm gonna give you some illness.
Ooh. I mean, it's only fair.
I just made your your new private maid ill. So sorry.
Oh, so look at her. She's so sick.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You ever lose any friendships over this game? Because I feel like it's so sweet and innocent, but there's like that
Right.
little insidious angle.
Yeah, there's a bit of that, especially in multiplayer. Um, now you can get rid of an illness by buying a 3 love card. That's how you get rid of illnesses.
A 3 love
So
card. Oh,
in the
okay.
upper left, so you can buy a
Yeah.
2 love card and a 3 love card. If you discard a 3 love card on your turn, you can get rid of the illness that's on your maid.
Very cool. Okay. What do you do
If that
again?
if that maid is now ill, like she is,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get the benefits from that card that you would normally.
Okay. Would you like to send or play normally? Let's put you here.
Yeah, so the some of the cards you can either put them in your private quarters or play them to gain a love or draw a card or whatever.
Okay. Oh, so there's also a number underneath the cards, and I'm realizing, so like, oh, maybe I don't understand that.
That's
Like 24 to 24, I thought maybe like, so for the
that's
two
how
love, like,
many that's how many cards are in the stack.
I did
So
understand that. Okay.
yeah, there's 24 total 1 love cards. There's 12 total 2 love cards, and we bought 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Faye's giving me a little extra love.
A little bit of a boost.
Yep. I don't need any more servings because I've got Kagari and I've got more servings than I know what to do with. But now I have 7
Ooh, look
love.
at that. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
So for 7 love, I'm going to get Anise Greenway. Anise is excellent. She gives you 3 victory
Ooh.
points. She also lets you draw 3 cards.
Oh, heck
So
yes.
We're
Sweep,
about
sweep,
8
sweep.
minutes out.
All right, I think we can probably get a couple more rounds in. So, like, when does it end? What is the, like, is
that's a
it to a
great
certain amount
question.
of victory
Okay.
points?
So it doesn't have a set ending like that, but what the
Okay.
ending is once 2 stacks of maids are gone. So the blue cards in the center are the general maids, and you'll
Okay.
see it says underneath them 8 of 10, 6 of 10. We've only got through. We're really only about 25% of the way through the game.
Really?
Because we've been talking, but once we get down to that few of maids, oh, I guess I didn't need to do that, but that's okay. Oh, you need to discard a card.
Me?
That's
Oh.
right. I played a card, which makes you discard a card.
Oh, butts.
Okay, and now I can chamber her, play my
Oh,
love.
that's cool.
I've got 6 love. I'll get an
Oh my
Ophelia.
goodness.
Ophelia lets you do all the things. Plus 1 love,
Ah.
serving, draw a card, and employ. And then it's your turn.
Oh, I
So
love this.
once 2 of those stacks are depleted, that's the end of the game. That's the last round, and then all the
Okay.
victory points get counted up.
Okay. I really like that. So if this is a game that I was interested in buying, would I be able to find this at like my local friendly gaming store, or is it purchasing online from Japanime Games? Is that the best bet for me?
Well, our games are available at hobby stores around the country and the world, but you can also get them on our website. And now you can also buy it on Steam. So
Yes.
next year, when we're coming out with Tanto 6, we're going to be releasing all of these games digitally, and eventually will be out on mobile edition as well. So you can play on iOS and Android against other players that are playing on their PC.
I love that.
A lot of stuff in the works.
You are tempting me with a good time, Eric.
Yep.
This is excellent.
Okay.
Because with conventions coming up, this is a game that I absolutely want to buy. And just, you bust it out, you slam it on the table, you say, hey, I haven't seen you in 2 years. Let's play some gosh darn Tanto. And nobody's going to say no to that.
It's very popular at anime conventions. I mean, it's quite popular at the gaming conventions as well. But
Yeah.
over the years, we've got a very solid fan base from all the different anime conventions we go to.
I love that.
Ooh, look at me, Nine Love. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
get.
goodness. Does that mean you
I
can get
just picked
Marianne?
Marianne, and she's worth 6 victory points.
Oof. Oof. Something tells me you might win this. We've got about
Not,
5 minutes left. So usually around this time, we'll do a bit of a wrap up, talk about where can we find you? How can we support you? I'm going to keep playing this game a little bit while you kind of talk about like, how do we support you? How, like, have we want to sign up for your newsletter? Is it just going to the website? Where can we find you on socials?
yeah. Obviously, we're on all the. Well, maybe not all. We don't have a Tumblr, I don't believe, but
I think you're okay.
but we obviously have the Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, the main socials. And you can find links to all of that on our website at japanimegames.com. And there's also a link to our mailing list. So it's great to be on our mailing list. Sometimes we give away free games to the subscribers on our mailing list. And then also we do a lot of things like at the conventions we go to, we'll do raffles and give out free games at our booth. So it's
nice.
always a good idea to come see us at a convention, because I generally give out about $1,000 worth of games at a convention, even more actually, a lot. If you see me at the convention, a lot of games are being given out.
And do you wear anything to like make yourself stand out? Do you put on like a maid outfit so we know how to find you?
I did that once, yeah.
Did you, Eric? Yes.
That was just for our party. That was just for our party. We normally have a very big party at Gen Con that we do every year, but we're not doing it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the place that we normally do it at closed down. The Rock Bottom in Indy.
Disappointing. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is disappointing. It's a sad story.
Ah.
But we need to find a new place to do it. So next year we can do it again. And I mean, I'd like to do something with Origins as well. This year there's going to be an Oktoberfest beer garden.
Yes.
And so we'll have, the pint glasses and be promoting our Oktoberfest edition of Tanto Cuore.
I am so excited for that. I'm gonna say I don't think I own any maid outfits, but I could probably put something together,
I actually got a closet full of them.
Did you? I believe it. You're gonna bring one my size, bring a large.
Yeah. We used to have all these Japanese girls, or not necessarily just Japanese girls, but lots of girls that would dress up in maid outfits to promote our game years ago. But now we've got so many different products, it doesn't make sense
to just promote the one.
But we also done beer maid outfits too.
Oh my goodness.
Which I think would only be fitting for Oktoberfest. So we'll definitely have to have somebody cosplaying as a St. Pauli girl this year.
Oh, that's so fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Eric. This has been an absolute delight. I've learned a lot about your company, a lot about your game, and I am absolutely a super fan of you as a human being, which is just marvelous because you never know what you're going to get. I want to be able to support all these game companies, but without kind of knowing the people behind it, you wonder, what are their ambitions? Are they really passionate about this? But you have done more to show that not only do you care about the product, you want to make sure it's something that not only you'll enjoy, but the fans will enjoy. So I really appreciate that. And I'm going to make one more turn because
okay.
I'm really into this. So you sure you want to play love? I'm going to do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's why it was asking me.
We're not going to be able to wrap up this game, unfortunately. It takes a little bit more time on the very first time you play it. And of course, we're chatting. But the game would probably go on for another 15 minutes or so based off of where we're at. But you can see at the top of the screen what our current victory points are. It tells me what mine are. I have 20 victory points.
I have 11.
So that wraps it up. That's our game.
Thank you, Eric. And if everybody in chat, y'all had fun tonight, why not have even more fun at Origins Game Fair, September 30th to October 3rd. We have events, we have panels, we have cosplay competitions, everything that your nerdy heart could desire. Plus me, I might be there with some maple syrup, so make sure you come check it out. If you'd like some maple syrup, I can bring you like a little, just like legit Canadian. Yeah. I got you. Right. I have been your host, B Zelda. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I'll obviously be there as well at Origins, and
Yes.
I would love to, share a beer with anybody that's there. So hope to see anybody, everybody, whoever can make it.
Yes, fingers crossed. We'll be there with our masks and our maple syrup and our games. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I have been your host, V Zelda. This has been Tabletop Otaku on Origins Game Fair, and have a fantastic night.
Thank you.